The insect kingdom is one of the most diverse and aggressive kingdoms on Earth. And with an insect for almost every task, life on Earth would most likely cease to exist without the expansive populations of insects that actually inhabit this planet. Most of the time, insects are predominantly harmless and cause humans very few problems. In fact, in many countries, insects are seen as delicious delicacies within any diet. But occasionally, insects are not all butterflies and roses. In this video, we will look at 7 occasions when insects became a little too close for comfort.
Number 7.
The first video on this countdown features a man that had a moth tunnel into his ear after landing on the side of his head. The man in the video is seen writhing on the floor, clutching his ear as the moth moves around within his ear canal. Those who have had various insects within their ears, particularly those with a winged insect, describe the irritation and sounds as something akin to a jackhammer to the temple. And so, it is easy to understand why the man was incapacitated on the floor, requesting that his friends remove the insect quickly. It isn't long before the moth is removed and the man is free from the irritation, but some of the following people in this countdown were not so lucky.
Number 6.
In this video, an Indian girl visited her local doctor after complaining of an extremely painful earache and feeling as if something was in her ear. After the doctor investigated the source of the pain, the doctor was able to pinpoint the issue. The young woman had actually fallen victim to an infestation of ants within her ear. The ear of this poor girl had become host to ants that had decided to take up residence within her ear. Luckily for the girl, the intrusion was discovered in time to resolve the problem without too many issues, but the aggressive nature of the ants did result in them beginning to reproduce within the ear canal with eggs being laid. Which means that if the ants had not been removed soon, things could have become much worse.
Number 5.
I don't know what it is about cockroaches, but they tend to get under most people's skin, and in this instance, the metaphor is to be taken literally. The man in this video, unlike many of the people within this countdown, went to the doctor not complaining of any ear pain. Instead, the man came to the doctor for a checkup after developing some compacted earwax. However, after the doctor removed the compacted earwax, the doctor actually pulled out a dead cockroach that had suffocated within the man's ear. Almost unbelievably, the man must not have noticed that the cockroach invaded his ear. And, as his body attempted to protect him from the intruder, his ear developed a large amount of earwax to protect the man from the cockroach.
Number 4.
Flies are an incredibly pervasive species of insect, with some of them carrying all sorts of diseases all over the world. The reason for this is that, generally speaking, most flies devour rotting substances and unhygienic items. And, alongside this eating of these disgusting substances, flies are known for using such locations to lay their eggs and reproduce. In this video, a fly had moved within the ear of this man and had laid eggs within his ear just prior to dying. The human body is amazing at killing invasive germs and foreign objects if they enter the ear. The ear of a human actually extracts a fluid that kills most things upon entry, but in this instance, the fly was able to place its eggs within the ear before passing away, which could have resulted in the maggots hatching and living within the ear due to maggots being somewhat resistant to the ear's defenses. Luckily for this man though, the doctor was able to remove the fly and its eggs before anything happened.
Number 3.
Unlike the previous person, the lady within this video was not so lucky. After complaining of an increasingly painful ear, an elderly lady visited her general practitioner to seek medical attention. It was soon discovered that underneath her hearing aid, a maggot had been wreaking havoc on her ear. According to the doctor, it is pretty likely that the woman's hearing aid had created favorably warm conditions within the ear, allowing the maggot to hatch and begin its feeding process after being somewhat starved. It was incredibly fortunate that the woman was able to have the maggot removed quickly. Otherwise, the entire situation may have turned south fast.
Number 2.
The previous videos have certainly had some decent sized bugs tunnel their way into the ear canals of various people. but the following video trumps each of them. The man in this video went to see his doctor after complaining of a tickle in his ear. Upon initial observation, it became apparent quickly that the man had a rather large insect within his ear. The insect almost looks like a species of grasshopper, and while I'm uncertain as to what the insect actually is, the fact that it flicks around with such precision and speed suggests that it is a very robust insect. Knowing very little about this insect, I am unsure as to whether or not it may have caused any risk to the man, but with bugs this size becoming living earplugs, it really would be a living nightmare to experience something like this.
Number 1.
The final video in this countdown, unlike all the previous ones, showcases an insect that did actually cause significant damage to the person playing host to it. Again, I am not exactly sure what the insect is, but it does look slightly like a tick of sorts. Unfortunately for this person, this insect actually managed to perforate through the eardrum found at the back of the ear canal. You can see that as the doctor attempts to remove the insect, that it has a tight grip on the eardrum, and it isn't willing to let go. It also appears as though the insect was working its way into the inner ear, and who knows what kind of damage this insect could have caused if left to its own devices. Shockingly, it appears as though the insect may actually still be alive too, meaning that as the doctor tried to pull the insect out, the bug could have potentially tunneled into the hole it had made for itself. And well, if this is not nightmare fuel, I'm not sure what is. G'day mates, it's B-Buster here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this creepy countdown. It would be awesome if you could comment, share and subscribe if you're new. Also, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget guys that I'll now be featuring a longer scary story video on my second channel. I'll provide a link on the screen so you can head over and subscribe if you would like to hear those longer story videos, and maybe even join in on some of the gaming videos that are now going up. Thanks again for always tuning in and for all the love and support guys, and I'll see you mates in the next one.